hit it. 9:06. I hit the O. We made it to Friday. It's the 5th day of September. The Alton Expo continues for the next couple of days until Sunday. Life's looking good right here in the heart of the 618. We got a really cool show for you guys today. Coming down the pipeline. In a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to Sydney. I haven't talked with her in a couple of days, and we're going to get the latest from Blog Talk and how she's feeling. Then at 10 o'clock, right around actually 9:50, Lacey's going to join us. We rescheduled her 100 Years Ago segment. Then right after Lacey at 10:10, we're going to be talking with Gene about a presentation coming up at the Hainer Library next week. Then at 10:35, we're talking to David Wilcox, tentatively scheduled just to get that out there. He was the former bodyguard of Pat Robertson, who, if you guys do remember, Christian Broadcast Network, the televangelist. Well, there's a lot of details in his memoirs and really an expose really about the workings of that televangelist system and Pat Robertson, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So that's a great conversation and just some really interesting stories in that one. I hope you hang out for the next 2 hours and join me for the ride. But in the meantime, here's what you need to know. On this 5th day of September, make sure you download the RiverBender.com app today. Early on September the 3rd, a woman was injured in a shooting inside her home on Terra Avenue in Alton. Police did respond to multiple reports of gunfire around 4:12 a.m. and found the victim inside the residence. Here's what we know. Emergency responders transported her to a St. Louis area hospital where she was treated and later discharged. Authorities believe the woman was not the intended target, and those involved knew each other. The Alton Police Department, with assistance from Illinois State Police, continue to investigate. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Alton Police Criminal Investigation Division, and that number is available at the RiverBender.com news story. Authorities are still investigating that deadly pedestrian accident that occurred on Wednesday night on Martin Luther King Boulevard near Godfrey Road and Northport. Around 9:22, a black Toyota Tacoma traveling northbound struck a pedestrian walking near the edge of the unlit roadway. After the initial impact, the Toyota driver pulled over, but a second vehicle also struck that same pedestrian. The pedestrian was pronounced deceased at the scene. The Toyota driver initially left, but was quickly located with police assistance. All drivers are cooperating with the investigators of this case. The Madison County Sheriff's Office continues to probe this incident, with the pedestrian's identity being withheld until pending family notification. We will keep you updated as more details do roll out. 2 men from Wood River in the Wood River area face felony burglary charges. Here's what we know. Jeffrey M. Porter, 55, of Wood River, is accused of unlawfully entering Moe's Corner on Wood River Avenue on August the 22nd, intending to commit theft. Meanwhile, Randall Mamino, 58, of South Roxana, is charged with burglary for allegedly breaking into a 2012 Ford Ecoline E350 vehicle on July the 20th. Both men have been released from custody pending trial. The Wood River Police Department is handling both cases. And a note that all accused individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today, you heard it first on our daily show just a couple of days ago. Our OSF St. Anthony's Health Center has been honored with the Magnet Designation with Distinction Award. This places them in the top 8% of hospitals nationwide for nursing excellence. How great is this? The recognition highlights the hospital's outstanding performance in 14 nursing categories. It's attributed to their professional practice model along with transformational leadership. Nursing staff at St. Anthony's are empowered to practice at the top of their license, fostering a culture described as a close-knit family. Hospital leaders have emphasized that this achievement assures the Riverbend region of exceptional patient care and improved outcomes at OSF. The hospital is already preparing to maintain this elite status in the next evaluation cycle. Only 42 hospitals in the world have that recognition. Also in the news, Illinois lottery players have another chance at a staggering $1.7 billion. I'll take it Powerball jackpot tomorrow night, Saturday. It marks the third largest Powerball prize in U.S. history. Recent drawings have brought excitement to Illinois, where several players, not me, have won significant prizes. One lucky ticket holder from Aurora matched 5 numbers to win $1 million. Additionally, 2 players claimed $100,000 each. 6 won $50,000 apiece, and since June 2nd, over 1.3 million winning tickets have been sold in Illinois, generating nearly $15.7 million in prizes. The ongoing jackpot run has contributed nearly $29.5 million to the Common School Fund, supporting K-12 education statewide. Hopefully you get your tickets and you're on a vacation by Monday. Jersey Community High School is hosting FBI Special Agent Jake Griffin on Tuesday to address the growing online threat of nihilistic violent extremism, or NVE, targeting students. Agent Griffin will deliver 2 presentations in the auditorium of the school. The first for teachers and administrators from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., followed by a session for parents and community members from 5 to 6. The talks will cover history and the current state of NVE groups, their recruitment tactics aimed at youth through social media, and ways to identify signs of radicalization. Griffin, who focuses on domestic terrorism in central and southern Illinois, aims to equip the community with knowledge to protect children from these dangerous influences. More details available at RiverBender.com/news. Finally, in the news today, authorities have charged Anais Elliott, 33, of Frisco, Texas, with aggravated battery and domestic battery following an incident where she allegedly struck a family member and cut another with a knife in Granite. The charges stem from an event on August the 24th. And in a separate case, Joseph McCulloch, 23, of Maryville, faces domestic battery and electronic harassment charges after allegedly threatening and assaulting a victim. Both were granted pretrial release with strict conditions. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this 5th day of September. Let's take a look at weather. 64 degrees, and it feels like 66 out there. Humidity at 52% today. Breezy this morning. Mostly cloudy and cool with a shower possible this afternoon. That chance keeps kind of slipping on down the radar there. Tonight, partly cloudy and cool. Currently, air quality right now is at moderate at 58. Mold's elevated at moderate too, along with ragweed. So if you need to take a Claritin, go ahead and pop one of those bad boys. Hey, also wanted to fill you in. Temperatures reached 74 degrees today. How about that? They dropped down to 50 overnight as we head into Saturday. On Saturday, a high of 76, a low of 47 degrees. And on Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 74, a low of 45. On Monday, we start our week with sunny skies, no clouds, a high of 78, a low of 51. And then on Tuesday, a high of 81, a low of 56. Now, bad news coming inbound. Hot weather's coming back. Not in the next 5 days, but probably within the next 7, because temperatures are going to start reaching 85, 87 again. False fall was fun. We got another stage to go, and then we'll go back to this weather. But let's enjoy the next 5 days. That's a look at it. You can stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather, or you can just download the RiverBender.com app today, and we'll alert you on all weather alerts from the National Weather Service and everything that keeps you in the know. You can also call 618-465-4545, this time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, while I have you, we're getting ready to get over here, talk to Sydney, and just wanted to fill you in that you can catch me and the gang over at the Alton Expo the next couple of days. I'm looking forward to it. It started up on Thursday, just yesterday, with Clueless on the stage. They were sounding great. The Amphitheater posted a couple of videos, loved it. 7 to 10 is when they perform. But tonight, it's a big one. 5 to 11 p.m. is when it opens and when it closes, 5 to 11. But you got DJ She Beats. She's awesome. She's performing 5:30 to 7:30. But the Dirty Mugs, that's like St. Louis's band right there. They're performing 8 to 11 p.m. tonight at the Alton Amphitheater for the Alton Expo. By the way, there's no cost to just enter the expo. It's just for you and your family to go and explore, find some rides from Lures. They're having some great deals. Lures does an awesome job, really just a stand-up company with just a bunch of great attractions, and have a great partnership with the amphitheater. Then on Saturday, September the 6th, that's tomorrow, it's open from 1 to 11, the in GK Band. I do this every time. It's like amazing. Performs from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. If you haven't heard them yet, they've been at Max a couple of times. They are awesome. Bad Habit performs from 7 to 11 on Sunday. You're going to have a great day. 1 to 5 p.m.s when it runs, and then Porch Cafe performs the entire time. It's a great event. I love the Sunday atmosphere. Really a perfect day for families. But they also, at the amphitheater and at the expo, they have some great deals on drinks and beer buckets. I mean, you're talking about a whole bucket for like $15. You can't beat that. Go to AltonRiverFrontAmphitheater.com. That's AltonRiverFrontAmphitheater.com. Don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way, and go have fun this weekend at the Alton Expo. Alrighty. Taking a break. We'll come back with more. With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Gonna get fired if I don't get some sleep. My long lost buddies say I'm getting in too deep, but I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. I try so hard, I can't rise above it. Don't know what it is about that little gal's loving, but I like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
Sydney.
CJ.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, please mic me. I demand to be heard from the people.
So I just want to point out that I am feel like I'm running a damn marathon today. It is like I am sweating profusely. I feel like my party days again, and I'm not even drinking. You know,
That's fair. It's not like hot, but it's not like
it's humid.
cold.
It's very muggy in this building.
Yeah.
It's like Florida.
It's very weird. No, the temperature's all over the place.
I'm also
the
in the
basement.
tracks.
You did that to yourself, but that's
okay.
okay. That's fair. It's interesting you say running a marathon because
Yeah,
tomorrow
I forgot about
I
it.
have a 5K.
I forgot. So the other day I'm reading the news, and in our new way Mike does it is it's the top 10 read news stories. Well, yours was number 4, and like I thought it was an actual athlete. Like, not saying you aren't. That sounded terrible. That sounded. no. I thought it was like a professional runner doing this marathon that had this
not quite.
And then I'm reading this, and I'm like, I think this is the blog. Like, because it never said blog talk in the whole
That's
piece.
so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm doing
You
my
convinced
5K.
it.
No, I did it. No, I haven't done anything yet. My 5K is tomorrow, so blog is coming on that.
There you go.
But in the meantime, what I wrote about this week is CJ, I don't know about you, I needed a hobby and I needed some interest in my life, and I have become a bicyclist.
Stop.
This is who I am now.
Okay, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble on this segment.
Oh,
I am
okay.
going to get
I didn't
into a lot of
realize
trouble on this
I didn't
segment.
realize this was a controversial
Oh
topic.
my God. There is no bigger pet peeve I have than bicyclists.
No, really?
Oh my goodness, worse than driving through Mississippi. I mean, honest to God, I cannot get... And I have no problem with people riding their bikes. I
ride
think
your
it's
bike.
healthy. Go
It's
ahead
great,
and ride
yeah.
it. Here's the issue. You can't keep up with traffic. Get out of West Delmar, okay? You know what I'm saying?
No,
I got
that's
to
fair.
worry about your life because you just don't want to go to the trail and ride. You know,
That's
that ain't
so
my problem.
fair. That's so fair, actually. I stick to the trail so far.
Here's
but,
what I'll say, though. And I feel bad for the walkers out there. They're walking on the sidewalk, and then these bicyclists, who technically aren't supposed to be on the sidewalk,
True.
are mowing them down.
Here's the thing. So I was riding my bike the other day. I'll back up. I'll talk about all this in a minute. But I want to say really briefly, I walk the trails a lot, like the MCT trails. It's great. I didn't realize there was such a community in the bicycling community.
It's a big one. That's why I'm scared about what I just said.
Yeah,
I
be
probably
careful
lost
out there.
a tenth of my audience.
The bikers are gonna get mad at you, but no, it is interesting. I was riding my bike, and the fact that these other bicyclists like waved to me now and like said
You're like
hello,
part of the Jeep crew.
I'm part of the gang.
Like the
I
Jeeps.
didn't realize. I didn't realize. And it turns out when I was walking, I was a moving roadblock. They didn't like me. Who knew? But now, as a bicyclist, the bikers are like my friends. It's really bizarre.
But, you know, have you seen those encounters on YouTube? Or, like, I don't know. I'm a YouTube Shorts guy. I don't like TikTok. I haven't had one.
It's all the same.
But it is. But
You're not better than me.
But I see these videos all the time of these bicyclists riding these trails and being very aggressive with people.
Yes, people, I've noticed that.
You know,
too.
like, you're in a Speedo. I don't think you should be getting aggressive with nobody. You know,
Speedo on a bicycle.
You know, you say, well, it's a leotard. It's
It is
what
a
it
leotard, yeah, or whatever
It's
that
a
is,
suit, but it's a onesie. You know, I don't think you should be getting aggressive when you're wearing those things.
That's very true. That's a hot take. You are going to make people mad. That's the funniest hot take.
I'm not going to get to my car today. I'm
Good
telling
luck.
you, I'm going to anger so many
Good
people.
luck.
I might have moved my meeting.
Watch
I got
out.
one thing to do today, and I don't think I'm going to make it.
Watch out. Watch out. No, yeah.
So, take me, why did you ride a bike?
Okay, so here's the thing.
That
so,
sounded harsh.
Yeah,
I feel
no.
like I'm really putting you in a corner.
Grilling me. No, here's the thing. I want to work out more and I want to spend more time in nature. So what's the best way to do that but to ride a bicycle?
Right.
Sure, you know?
I guess, yeah.
Why not? So anyway, so the other day I went to my parents' house and I said, I'm going to take my bicycle and I'm going to put it in the trunk of my car and I'm going to take it to my apartment. I'm going to ride it.
Your car is like known for large trunk space.
Is
your
it
type
really?
Of car, yes.
Fascinating. I didn't know that because it's not that large.
Oh,
So-
it seemed like it fit just fine. I mean,
well, we stuffed it in. We made it work,
that's how you
but
do
we
it.
got it working. And so anyway, yeah, we drove it back to the apartment and then trying to get it up the stairs of the apartment and try not to take out the drywall with like a wayward handlebar.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Very difficult. But we managed, as far as my landlord knows, we managed and might have hit the wall once or twice, but it's okay. But we got there and now I have a bicycle at my disposal. So here I am riding a bike.
So you didn't pay anything for this bicycle?
No, this is a bicycle that has been in storage for a few years. It's one I used to ride. I used to, like, I don't know if you know this about me. No,
I don't.
Of course you don't. But I used to bicycle, like, a lot. And I used to go in all of the roads and the country roads. I low-key risked
different.
my life
Well,
on
that's
the country
you
roads.
but you got some time at least between traffic sometimes.
Yeah.
But man, people fly down those bad boys.
It's kind of impressive. And,
It
of course,
is.
I'm not wearing a helmet. So
Yeah.
it's, like, it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I would low-key risk my life. So, yeah.
Wear a helmet. I
Wear
don't
a
need
helmet.
to tell you that, and Sydney doesn't need. We just wanted to throw that out there
No,
for the audience at
please
home.
wear a helmet, because what I discovered on this bike that has been in storage for a few years,
Yeah.
so I get on, of course I don't have a helmet on because I forgot to get one, and it's like, it's on my to-do list, I'm gonna get one, but of course I didn't have one on, and I got on the bike, and I rode down the slope of the parking lot, and immediately learned that my brakes don't work. So,
Why would you go downhill first?
well, it was just where I started. It was on a slope in the parking lot, and I was like, okay, let's just jump in. Let's just commit to the bit.
Okay.
And so,
Did you survive the fall?
well,
Did you fall?
I'm here. I did not fall.
Ah.
Believe it or not, I did not
I
fall.
would have. I would have fallen very gracefully.
Unfortunately, it's definitely a risk. It definitely might still happen at some point, but believe it or not, I stayed upright.
What type of bike is this?
It's not that nice of a bike. So, like,
Is it like
I
a
want to
mongoose?
say, oh, I don't know.
Like one of those like ones we had when we were kids. You know, like one of those just like
Just like a bicycle.
Is it like a mountain bike or a trail
No,
bike? Oh, it's a
just
regular
like a
bike.
regular bike. And so that
Wow.
picture that I used, that's just a stock photo. I got asked multiple times if that was my bike,
Yeah,
and the
'cause
answer
that's a
is
nice
that's a nice
bike.
bike. The answer is no. It's just
Sorry
a
to say,
bicycle
who
from
gave you a
Walmart.
bonus here. It's a nice bike. But
This
okay.
is just from Walmart, and it's from 2011. And so here we are, and I'm riding it again and trying my best.
So they still wave to you with that thing?
Yeah, they do. Believe it or not.
I'm just kidding.
Believe it or not, I still
It's
get
like,
the cred.
You know, it's like I have a Jeep Patriot. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it is not
Do
a
you
Jeep.
get waved to?
Yes, I'm like I don't feel like I should. I'm not a part of the club.
Yo, you didn't earn it.
That's what I kind of felt like with this. I'm like,
Yeah,
do
I
they
didn't
still-
earn it.
do they still-
If they looked at me for a second longer, they'd be like, let's be honest with one another. But so far, I've been able to get waved to by the trail people. So that's nice. The trail folk.
They're the trail folk. There you go. So take me through your. How did you decide what to ride? I mean, because like, do you just decide like, okay, I haven't rode this thing in a while. Let's just go to the trail.
Literally, yeah, that's how that went. I got on the bike and I rode down the hill and I survived the hill and realized my brakes didn't work and was like, all right, I guess I'll just start going on the trail. So, yeah, what happened was I got excited and I was pumped. I was like, this is who I am now. I'm a bicyclist. This is my new personality trait. I'm going to go. And so that first ride, I rode about 7 to 9 miles, which was definitely a little bit much. I don't recommend starting out that much.
Whoa, what?
Like 7 to 9. Like, it's kind of unclear
Wait,
to me right
hold
now.
on. 7 to 9. How long were you riding your bike?
Like an hour.
Oh, geez.
It was a second. I was excited. I gotta tell you, CJ, I get pumped about things.
Were you exhilarated?
I
on the
was
bike ride?
ecstatic. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was elated about the thought of
Elated.
going on this bike ride. And so again, I was like, no helmet, no problem. Let's just go. Rode 7-ish miles and then landed back at the apartment and was like, oh, I can't feel my legs. Like, this is too much. Went too hard on the first try. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend stretching or preparing in any way whatsoever.
It's an athletic event.
Yeah, it actually kind of is like a
Not
workout.
kind of, it is.
Like, they weren't lying. And I don't take it that seriously. I'm just biking in like bike shorts and a t-shirt, but you know, like people in the onesies, they are serious about it. So shout out, if you're out there wearing a onesie on a bicycle, then like you're my hero. And please continue to wave at me because I get a rush from that. So,
What's the biggest pet peeve you've seen of fellow riders so far?
of fellow riders.
And you don't have a helmet, so they can identify you right now.
That's true. I'm pretty noticeable on my little bike.
Biggest pet peeve.
One of the most complicated things I've seen so far, and this is not really complicated at all, but like as far as complications go. So you're riding, there's a walker in front of you, and that's an innocent bystander. I want to say right now, in defense of the walkers, that is an
thank you.
innocent person.
Thank you.
They didn't ask for this.
They didn't know you were driving.
They
today.
didn't mean to do
Right?
anything. And so anyway, so you're behind this walker, and on the other side, here comes bikers too. And it's hard to figure out who's going to go around who. And so that is the most complicated part so far. And that's not that complicated, but it was complicated to me.
Okay. So I got to take a break real quick,
Yeah.
but I got something for you.
Oh.
Here's the top 10 of why I feel like, bicyclists that are a little bit too enthusiastic have a little bit of a tough time getting along with me.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Wearing spandex like they just stepped off the Tour de France to take a ride to the park. Ringing their bell like it's some polite gesture, but really just kind of being a jerk at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's see, taking up the entire lane of a 2-lane road.
True.
Making every driver question if they're actually in a parade. Let's see, treating every trail, this is for you, like it's the Indy 500 and you're just standing in the way while
That
you're
is
walking.
me. That is who I am now.
Oh, and then here's my other favorite part. Headphones in, world out, just zigzagging through and try not to,
I ride my headphones.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
right.
I'm that person.
There's some. I'll come back with more. We'll come back with Sydney and Blog Talk. I know there's so many bicyclists that don't want to talk.
No, you are.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now.
I remember both of them this time. Welcome back! 9:34. Daily Show. I am so sweaty. I honestly feel like it's the.
about you.
I honestly, I kind of am too. I really think that this is the end.
Please don't let it be.
I think
because
it's like
that's
the weather change and maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be daycare bugs.
Oh, well, that's a downside. That is a downside.
Little stuffy today.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Not
You're
all
gonna bounce
days.
back.
Rehab, recover, return home.
Yeah.
They sponsor the telephone line. You're running a 5K tomorrow.
Well,
You're participating in a 5K tomorrow. You're doing better than I am because I'm not even walking it.
okay, here's the thing. So, I signed up for Centerstone's Life Story 5K, which you
Are
still
you
have
doing
the
in
chance to
Glazebrook?
sign up for. I'm doing it in Glazebrook. You
That's
still have
cool.
the chance to sign up. You still have the chance to support suicide prevention and Centerstone, which
Yeah.
is the cool things they do. So, come out there. Be the part of it.
Do you know the route?
I got
Is it a
an
route or a
email.
route?
I say route personally.
I do
but
too,
I
like
respect
Route
you if
3.
you- I respect our differences.
Like it's a country thing. Route 3.
There you
or
go, yeah.
Route forwarding.
There you go. I respect our differences if you say route, but no, it's okay. But yeah, no, I got an email with the route, but I couldn't.
You were
going to
say route.
You
You
me
were
off.
going to say
You
route. I
threw
think
me
I'm
off.
onto something here.
I don't quite understand the graphic. Again, I like I said last week with IKEA furniture, I'm not a visual person, so I guess I'll just kind of follow the signs. But yeah, no, I'm doing this 5K, and I trained. I want it to be known. I was training. I was training.
I just think you put a lot of effort into this, and it's great to see you fired up about it.
Yeah, I'm pumped about this.
Okay, so how'd you train?
So
Rocky?
I was running. I was practicing, and like, no, I wasn't like eating right, and I wasn't like stretching, but I was running, and then I'd come home and have a glass of wine and just chill, and it was
That's
like
how you
that
train.
balance, which was perfect for
It's
me.
like the John Daly of running right there. Instead of smoking cigarettes on the golf course, you run and come back and have a glass of wine.
Literally,
You're going to
yeah.
be a champion.
I'm gonna be a champion. No, I was training, and then just life started happening, and I got distracted, and I kind of forgot to train for a couple of weeks.
Okay,
and so,
yeah. How long is a couple of weeks?
Well, like a month or
Oh,
so.
geez.
So yeah, I sense a lot of judgment over there. From
No.
you.
It's a worry.
Well, I appreciate your concern because, yeah, I'm doing this 5K tomorrow. I'm frankly probably going to walk most of it because I can't run that far. And here's the thing. I don't know. It's the satellite location, so it's not like the main life story location tomorrow, as people know if they watch the show, which they should do. But anyway, my concern is that there aren't going to be like 100 people there. You know, they have like a ton of people registered, but I'm concerned it's going to be like just me and a couple other people at the satellite location, and I'm going to be dead last. So that's my fear. I'm just vocalizing that. Yeah, or yeah.
Man, I got so excited I peaked my microphone. Or you can be the winner. Because maybe there's not a lot of people.
True.
Maybe it's just folks that are in the same position you are.
True.
Maybe it's their
We're just
first.
doing it. Yeah.
You know, and then honestly, if I would kind of size up your competition when you get there on the starting line.
That's the plan, yeah.
And just see, like, how great would it be if I, as Team Riverbender, won the Centerstone Life Story 5K run walk.
Literally. I'm not even going to time myself.
There's
going to
be a lot of pressure on you tomorrow.
I feel it. I feel it already. No, it's on all angles.
What if we had a competitor from a local, one of our local competitors? What if they sent a reporter to walk in it too? Then you'd have to win.
I could speed walk it. No worries. No problem. Look, my walk game is strong. I walk all the time.
I walk so I get made fun of all the time. Oh my God, Jackie and her friends are brutal to me about it. They call me an old man. I'm like, what?
You shuffle.
I walk.
You walk.
I call it a walk.
There you go.
Is it really a shuffle?
I don't know. I've never like paid attention. Now I got to pay attention.
Now I'm kind of nervous.
I'll pay
Maybe
attention.
I do shuffle around.
I'm sure you don't shuffle, but it's
I
okay.
hope not.
I'm speed walking this 5K because
I just feel like walking slow is a lot. Have you ever seen somebody walk fast and you're just like, let's just say you're walking down 3rd Street.
Yeah.
Okay. You're just going to the convenience store and you see somebody either speed walking or running.
That's true.
What's your first thought?
Too hardcore. Too hardcore.
My first thought's what you do.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true too.
I don't want to look guilty.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You have a good point. You are just strolling, and I respect that.
Thank you. I'm smelling flowers everywhere I go.
That's beautiful. That's such a beautiful philosophy on life.
I don't know. It kind of sounded weird after I said it.
Smelling flowers.
I don't know. It kind of sounded. I don't know. I don't like that too much.
We'll see what happens.
You're gonna be walking 3.1 miles.
I know, and that's not the part that scares me. Again, the part that scares me is I'm gonna be last, and everyone's gonna double at me, and this is just my fear. I'm just gonna stream of conscious fear to you right now.
If it's the trail at Glazebrook, you'd have to walk it 3 times.
Well, I think it like wraps around a little bit because Glazebrook has like I've walked. Trust me and Glazebrook trails, like this. I walk those trails a lot. If you see me out there, I am just walking around, making my laps. No, I promise I'm good to go. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't want to be last. I'm concerned about that. We'll see how it goes.
Are you
Thanks
going to
for
do
your report.
You're welcome. Are you going to do a triathlon?
Here's the thing. It's funny you bring that up. Because I'm overconfident and like ambitious and a little bit stupid, I was bicycling and I was like, this is so much fun. I'm learning how to run right now, sort of, even though I haven't trained for a while.
Do you have a running form?
No, not at all. I'm just trotting along, basically.
Huh.
I'm hoping for the best. I'm wearing tennis shoes from 2022. I'm trying my best.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of. I can't let a pair of shoes last for 4 months.
Oh, really?
Oh, my
You
God.
wear them out?
Oh, my God. No.
What do you do?
You got me. All I know is
your
I could be probably is. Now that I think about it, I wonder if it is the way I'm walking.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
That's annoying.
Yeah,
No.
like it could be a $4 pair of shoes from Ross or a $400 pair of shoes from JCPenney. Will just completely be ruined.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
No, my shoes last a while. The
I'm
shoes
proud
I'm
of you.
wearing right now has been for like a second. And you can kind of tell they don't look that good. So.
So there's a running form, right?
Yeah, I know people that do it right
Yeah.
have like a right
You
way.
gotta have there was a guy that taught me how to run, and you
Okay.
gotta you're supposed to run like you're holding a potato chip.
Oh.
I'm telling you, ask Brandon upstairs. Dan would know about it all.
That's Brandon. Yeah,
I'm
no.
telling you, there is
I trust
nobody that
you.
knows more about running
That's
than Dan
very
Brandon.
true. He's given me a lot of advice.
Has he really? Oh,
and
I love this.
I've taken none of it, and I'm sorry, Dan. I tried so hard. Oh, no.
20 years.
Oh no! Oh, got so excited. I've tried so hard to follow the advice, and
Can't hit that side.
I just can't do it. I don't know. I'm not a runner yet, but
Why haven't you taken the advice?
Because I suck. I don't know. I don't know. I just was like, this is just gonna be fun. This is fun for me. And then I trained for a little bit, and then my training kind of went away. So here I am.
Are you one of those bicyclists that has to take a selfie in the middle of the trail?
That's funny you bring it up. So I did take a selfie once, and I was like, and it didn't turn out good. I was like bicycling while I went, and it was like blurry, and it just didn't work. And I was like, you know what, never again. Not only is that like embarrassing.
There's going to be so many people that are so pissed about my
Yeah.
bicycle take.
Yeah,
I have no doubt about
your
this.
tirade against the bicycling community.
Well, I'm at a point now where I have to keep going. I
Yeah,
can't
you've
just,
committed to that point
I
of
can't
view.
just kind of bend backwards now. I got to just kind of be strong
You've
here.
committed, and likewise, here I am.
There's
part
so
of the
many
bicycling
people around
community.
me that bike too.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Good luck.
My friends, my parents.
Good luck. I wish you well. No.
Damn.
But yeah, if anyone has any suggestions for where I should be bicycling, let me know.
Oh, can I say something? Bicyclists have to obey road signs.
Yeah, I don't. I just kind of.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty. So how long is this biking thing gonna last?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how long. If it goes the way of my 5K training, we'll see what happens. But I've lugged the bike upstairs to my apartment now, so I feel like I'm committed to it. And I will say, because the brakes don't work. Also, still I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But because the brakes don't work, I kind of have to put my
How do
feet
you
down.
stop? Yeah, it's like a Fred Flintstone car.
Literally, I squeeze them, and like that sort of works a little bit, but not quite. And then I kind of skitter. Like I put my feet down, and I just go like.
Oh my god!
If you can hear that.
Oh my god! No
and
way.
then so now my legs are all bruised too, so that's unfortunate. But
do you put your leg by the pedals when you do?
Yeah,
Why
like,
would you do that?
What are you supposed to do?
Stick them behind there. You know, you gotta kind of lay them back a little bit.
Keep them wide. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
No,
That's
I'm bruised up and I
kind
just
of crazy.
skitter.
I don't know. I'm a little alarmed by that behavior.
It's not. Yeah,
It's like
it's
Dahmer
not
behavior.
It's not ideal. I'm getting the brakes fixed. I'm getting a helmet. I'm gonna take care of things, but I'm not like someone who's on top of things very often.
Well, no, it's not that. It's like just someone that if I saw somebody go to a skate park and take a scooter to the shin 15 times in a row on purpose, I'd be like, wow, I don't want to fight them.
That's
if
true.
I saw
Don't
you,
fight me.
If I saw you take your bike pedal 14 times to the shin, I'd be like, that lady's got something going on here.
It's not my preferred method of stopping, but considering where I'm at right now with the brakes not working, it's kind of a desperate moment for me. So that's how it's going for me.
So are you going to start stretching and doing these things that you said that you aren't doing, or are you kind of just like, eh?
I went on a bike ride yesterday too, so
Wow.
it's twice now. That's exciting.
2 times.
2 whole times, and I did not stretch.
Wait, this is
again.
your second time you've ridden a bike?
Well, I rode it when I was younger.
Wait,
but,
hold
like,
on. This is your hold on here. I'm very concerned, confused.
Yeah, let's hear
This
it.
is your second time riding the bike since you brought it out of retirement?
Yeah, so twice now. So I'm a bicyclist now. I'm like a whole.
Does that make you?
This is who I am now. This is yeah.
That's like when I rented we had to rent through Carter Gulf Shores and everyone thought we were part of the Jeep Club, you know?
And you were in it. You were in it for that drive. Likewise, I'm in it for this bicycling trip. So yeah, I stand by
I thought
it.
you were doing this for months.
No. This is I got the bike on Monday and I started riding it. And then I was like, okay, this is who I am now.
I'm glad you're figuring it out.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know where to go with it.
Yeah,
I,
that's
honestly,
fair.
you stumped me.
You kind of called me out. That's fine.
Well, it wasn't in the article. You
Well,
didn't
no,
say, you didn't say when you got this bike.
I got to keep it going that make it sound like I'm really pulled together, and I'm not. But, I'm like a duck, CJ. I'm like a duck, smooth on the surface and just paddling. underneath.
And I'm just a sick duck. Anyway, with that being said, Sydney, what are you working on this week? And you working?
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
Oh,
so,
you are going to the 5K?
Yeah, I'm doing the 5K, so that's exciting, most importantly, of course.
Yeah.
And then that's at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, I love you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your support. But
I am so tired even thinking about 7 a.m.
I'm tired. I was thinking when my alarm went off this morning at like 6:30, I was like, oh God, tomorrow I'll be somewhere at this time. That's alarming to me.
That is alarming.
Yeah, but I mean, Life Story's still open right now if anyone wants to join.
Charles
come say hi.
Minningham will be the keynote speaker.
I know. I'm excited to hear from him. He's a great guy.
What are you writing about next week?
We'll see what comes up. It's a busy couple of weeks. This is September is busy for some reason, I've noticed, and so we'll see what people have going on and what comes up and what comes our way, and I look forward to it.
I just, I'm really getting tired of all this nice weather happening during the week.
Literally, can we focus on the weekends?
I'm to the point now where I think they need to pass a bill in Congress that says the first nice weather period, the false fall, the country's off. Everyone gets a mental health break. We get to go as a country, sit out on our decks and relax.
That sounds really nice. I want to ride my bicycle, so that'd be really nice to do.
I know I'm going to get so much crap.
Good luck.
Alrighty, Sydney, good talking to you.
It's been fun.
Lacey McDonald joins us next on this Friday morning. Only 65 degrees out there.
That's beautiful.
It feels like 82 down here.
It's kind of hot. I'll be honest with you.
I am very warm.
That's rough.
Alrighty, quick break. We'll come back.
More Daily Show next. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Plenty of car dealers, plenty of options for people to choose from. What's your formula for success, right?
Number one, you got to have a good bank, you have a good team, and you got to have loyal customers. It takes all three of those in order to make something work.
In a town like the size of ours, a good relationship with our customers is very important. You want them to know this is a place to come, just like you guys want people to know Carrollton Bank's a place to come.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I. Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Libby Coombs. Libby was a math major who graduated from Lewis and Clark in 2010. She's a math teacher and the girls golf coach at Edwardsville High School. She even has her LC diploma in her classroom and always tells her students how life-changing Lewis and Clark was for her.
I'm Libby Coombs, and I'm a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should, baby. Hurt so good.
Okay.
Sorry.
We were. I know. We were just talking business. Coming up in 20 minutes, we're going to be talking to Jean King, and she's doing a presentation next week at the library.
Yes, and so I was saying we have Jean King doing a presentation next week, and then we have Jean Baldwin doing a presentation in December.
It is so
and
humid.
A lot of Jeans coming to the library for your listening pleasure.
If your name Jean, you get 10%. No, I'm.
Your name is Jean. Let me know if you want to do a presentation at the library.
That's one of the requirements.
Yeah.
For months, I've been waiting for this.
I know.
Lyman Trumbull.
Lyman Trumbull.
We should have a statue of this man in Alton.
You know, we probably should.
Thank you. I've been saying this for years.
You're welcome. And I normally don't believe in statues.
You don't? You aren't a statue person?
I feel like there are a lot of statues to people that shouldn't have statues, and there are a lot of people that should have statues that don't. And so I've mixed feelings on statues.
Gotcha. You know, same. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
the Diggum frog, I don't feel like he needs a statue.
Well, I mean, I will say this too. It's like one person will have hundreds of statues when maybe they deserve one statue, and then there are always so many people who did so much who are never ever going to get recognized in any major way. And so, so yeah, there are a lot of people that I feel like I would love a statue of, and I feel like Lyman Trumbull would make the cut of people that it would be good to have a statue.
I keep petitioning for my own statue. I feel like I am not. I feel like I want to be one of the only people that get a statue that's not rich while they're still alive.
What's stopping you?
Money. I don't have the money to build the statue.
Literally.
And I tried to start the CJ Nasello Foundation. There was some drama with that. They realized it was all going to my credit card debt. But we'll now I'm going to get investigated for joking about that.
Statue. You're like, credit card debt now, statue later.
I started one of those last name foundations, so you just make all this money and don't really do a job. I'm in trouble today. Lyman Trumbull never did any of that.
No.
He was actually a great person.
He seemed to be a really great person.
So take me there. Lyman Trumbull, his house is on Henry, correct?
Yes. His house is at 1105 Henry Street. And
it has the American flag over it, I remember. And it has like a stairwell that goes up and doors that go in, kind of like the White House has.
It's got stairs up to the main door. There's a picture of it in the article. This picture is from Great Rivers and Routes, their website, because they have some information about it on there.
It's a beautiful home.
It's a very beautiful home.
Well, look at this. Open image in a new tab. So what did you find out about Lyman Trumbull and his efforts?
Man. You know, I've researched Lyman Trumbull.
That's his house.
There it is. Yeah. Off and on over the years. We have a really cool portrait and like signature, like something that he wrote in the library on display at any, you can come see that at any time. And we've got it in the Lincoln display case right now. But he was an extremely, extremely prominent senator and politician in other ways too. But he was one of the only people that just like, he had an extremely long career, like 60 years.
Yeah.
And he changed parties like 5 times. He was so adamant about his beliefs about what was morally right and what our country should look like, that he was totally unwilling to just go along with what his party was doing at any given time. So, I mean, I think that's kind of admirable that he was like, I mean, it's not that he was never willing to compromise, because you have to do that at some point, but at the same time, there were things that he was not willing to compromise on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really important, because nowadays, I mean, hell, you know, everyone thinks that like all these parties are so unified. They're screaming and fighting behind closed doors about their thoughts and their moral compass, but they're never going to change sides to say, you know what, I'm very rare that you see that happen anymore.
I mean, maybe it would be better if there was more flexibility in that.
Well, it would be, but you know, the donors are not going to allow that.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's way above what we can solve on this show.
I'm going to take them all on. I'm taking on the line.
With the CJ Nasello Foundation.
Oh my God, I would lose in about 13 seconds. I don't think they'd even lift up a finger. I'd be like a gnat. They just flick out of the way, you know, like, who's this guy? So, it's pretty significant that Alton produces 3 senators in the 19th century, and I think it showcases how big of an area Alton was and how important it was, too. It's kind of interesting.
Right. So the reason that I could write about this, and to be completely transparent, I looked for a way to write about Lyman Trumbull because CJ loves Lyman Trumbull.
It's true.
And so I searched for him 100 years ago to figure out how I could tie him in. And 100 years ago, the Joint Committee on Printing for the United States Senate sent out a letter to the postmaster, P.B. Cowsley, in Alton, asking for information on the 3 men who had served in the Senate who were from this area. So they had information already, but they wanted to see, you know, like if any living relatives were here, if anybody that knew them had any more and could verify the information that they had. So the 3 men, and there wasn't a female senator from Illinois until 1992, and that was Carol Moseley Braun. So it was 3 men, and it was David Jewett Baker, James Semple, and Lyman Trumbull. And so they had a little bit about each of these men, and it was kind of interesting too, because David Jewett Baker was only a senator for a month. He was appointed, I think, when someone died, served for a month. He wasn't eligible to be elected in, so it was truly just like it was always going to be a 1 month appointment.
Wow.
Yeah. And then James Semple was appointed and then ended up being elected and served from 1843 to 1847. So still only a 4-year period.
Were these all concurrent with each other or no?
No.
Okay.
So let's see. David Jewett Baker was 1830. James Semple was 1843 to 1847. And then Lyman Trumbull was, because he did a whole bunch of things. When he was a senator, it was 1855 to 1873. So not at the same time.
Fascinating, though, to me, is that Alton's founded in, 1855 or 1885?
Alton was incorporated in 1837.
Okay.
It was founded it was platted in 1818. So that's when Rufus Easton came and put the streets, the grid of the streets and all of that stuff.
That's interesting. So technically, before it was official and incorporated, there were still senators from the area. Right? Technically?
Well, yeah, you're right. Yes.
That's fascinating.
It would have still been, let's see, when David Jewett Baker... You know what, though? I don't know if he lived here.
Gotcha. Okay.
When he became a senator, because I know he retired to Alton and died here and is buried here.
That makes sense.
So he died in 1869. So we would have been
Alton
at that point. But
fascinating.
But yeah, that's a good question, because Alton was. I mean, there were people living in Alton way before Alton became an official time. And it's like that with Godfrey, too. Godfrey only became an incorporated village in 92.
I'm making a prediction now.
What?
I'm going to get in trouble for this one, too, on the show. It will be Godfrey High School within the next 25 years.
Really?
I think so.
See, this is going to be getting
It's not. I know people are going to freak out that I just said that. I truly believe so.
I like having a unified school district between the two towns.
I think so. I think they're just going to take the name over because they're going to have more Godfrey residents than Alton in there.
Oh, you think it'll still be?
I think it'll still be the same thing.
So
I think the name's just going to change. I
truly
believe it. I have no doubt in my mind. I know it's one of those crazy things. I'm not saying I know the Powerball numbers, but I am at least putting $100 on that.
Well, I like it the way that it is. And we'll see what happens.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I could see it happening. So Baker was a U.S. District Attorney, correct?
Yes.
And now, was that before or after his Senate
That
run?
was after.
Okay, and do you think his being a team player and sitting there for the month helped out becoming a, because back then it was the good old boy system,
Well, it
100%.
sure was. Yeah, I'm sure that he was doing a favor when they needed to hold a.
You know what's fascinating is I'm sure it would probably not Trumbull. Maybe it was either him or Simple would have been a part of some of the bartering that was going on during some of these presidential ties. You know what I'm saying? Because during one, I forgot what election it was. Maybe it was Rutherford B. Hayes, but one of them was almost a dead tie, and Congress had to sort it out, and they had to do all these compromises to figure out who would be the president. And I don't know if that was how Quincy Adams got. I don't know how that. One of the early presidents, and I don't know if it would be during one of these three Senate, but there was a lot of crazy political things happening back then, like really wild things that have happened today. We'd be in a revolt.
Oh, it'd be insane.
Like immediately.
John Quincy Adams, though, like
he is such a cool person.
I love him.
Me too.
He's
I
great.
think he's like the coolest guy.
Yeah, same.
Well, and now I just thought it was kind of cool because one of them got appointed that way because it was just so dead even, and they did a vote and they decided, all right, let's just pick this guy and we all kind of can get along with him.
Right.
Interesting. So Trumbull, though, had a long and impactful career in
Yes.
law and politics.
Yes.
How did his work in the Senate shape the course of history for really the entire country?
Oh man, huge, because he was in the Senate from 1855 to 1873, so almost 20 years. And before that, he had been a judge on the Illinois Supreme Court. He'd been the Secretary of State of Illinois. And during he lived here from 1849 to 1863. So for a large chunk of the time that he was a senator.
Yeah.
I mean, so while the Civil War was going on,
He was here.
he was here.
Wow.
And he was a senator.
That's wild
Yeah.
because you have the prison right
You
down
got
the
the prison.
road and all
Yep.
those. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So, well, and I guess
Wow.
let's see, he lived here until he lived here until 1863. So right before all of that, but he was still a senator during the Civil War. So he lived up through the beginning of, things kind of going wrong. And then he wouldn't have been here during the Civil War living full time, but he was still a senator.
So what was his role? Before we talk about the role in the 13th Amendment, what are some of the other things that he was a part of? Because he was very vocal as a senator, too.
Yes, he was a huge supporter of labor rights.
Wow.
He was a huge supporter of civil rights.
That's interesting back then to have somebody really supportive of labor rights, because that wouldn't come in for another 50 years?
Yeah, I mean, let's see, I think the 1890s was when Labor Day became a thing. So he was an early supporter of Abraham Lincoln. So this is kind of what I was talking about before of the Lincoln-Douglas debate. So leading up to the Civil War, the Lincoln-Douglas debate was in October of 1858, and Lyman Trumbull, who was living here at the time, hosted a reception for Lincoln and visiting delegates at the Franklin House on State Street, which still exists. You can still go there, and I think there's a sign that talks about Lincoln. But so he was a staunch supporter of abolition, or at least not having slavery. Yeah. And was very, very supportive of Lincoln in that debate. And when he was running for president, I think later, but they had some back and forth. Lyman Trumbull was actually more in favor of the abolition of slavery than even Lincoln was. That was one of the things that he was super, super adamant on, and sort of pushed Lincoln that way. So that's kind of cool too. And then after, during Reconstruction, he was very involved. And then he was part of the 13th Amendment. He helped draft the 13th Amendment, which took away slavery in the United States. Other than if you are being punished for, if you're in jail.
Gotcha.
It's not called slavery, but when you are forced to work without the compensation. Yeah. Yes. So 13th Amendment.
When was that?
Oh, God. 1864.
That's interesting.
So that abolished slavery, but it didn't fix all the problems. Mm-hmm. So then he was involved in the Civil Rights Act. So there was a Civil Rights Act in the 1860s as well. We think of civil rights
as Lyndon Johnson, 1965.
Yeah. And that obviously was also a big time with civil rights in the United States. But right after the Civil War was also important because we were dealing with states that didn't want to give any power to the people that had been enslaved.
Right.
So Civil Rights Act, the Freedmen's Bureau Act, which freedmen, like the people that had been enslaved, making sure that they had rights, making sure that they had things that they needed. So he was just very, very involved in that, very respected, very like so I did put it in the article, he and Lincoln didn't always see eye to eye. Also, their wives had been really, really good friends and then turned into frenemies later.
Really? Why?
Yeah. So there was a lot of drama.
Well, Mary
around
Todd was a
them.
little bit of a different person because she had a lot going on.
She had a lot going on. And I don't remember all the details of it, but I do know Julia Trumbull, there was something that happened. And I think that maybe someone didn't support, maybe Trumbull didn't support Lincoln in an election that Mary Todd felt like he should have. And so then she wouldn't be friends with his wife anymore. I don't remember all the details. I do very much remember, though, that even though Lincoln and Trumbull, they were very close, and then they still, even if they didn't see eye to eye, they still seemed to have like a respect for
Jefferson
each
and
other.
Adams thing at the end where like they finally rekindled, or was it better than that?
Well, I don't know. I feel like they both appreciated each other.
That's interesting.
Whereas their wives were
like kind of like
enemies by the end.
Okay, so he was a senator during the time he drafted this amendment, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
that makes sense now.
Yes.
And so, was he the lead writer on this, or was the lead drafter, or was he part of a team that kind of put this together?
Well, he was chairman.
Oh, so he was the head honcho.
Yeah, he was chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and so as his role as chairman, as part of his role,
that
as
makes
chairman,
sense.
He helped draft it. So I don't know that he was the one. I think it was him and a couple of other people, but I've also seen like he was the author of the 13th Amendment. So.
I know that his house is a national landmark here and everything, but it just seems like when I was the only reason I learned of Lyman Trumbull was Carl Day in high school. Like that was the only person that ever taught me about it. Why do you think that we don't really talk more about Trumbull and his, because I feel like that's something we can all kind of get behind with pride, that this guy kind of was a worker bee that really did a lot, that was pretty innovative.
Honestly, you know what? Your statue thing might be a big part of that, because we seem to need something to go to to talk about historical figures. So like with history class, like when elementary schools were doing the history field trip, you can go to Lincoln Douglas Square.
Right.
And you can see the statues and you can talk about them. And you're right where they were. But it's a lot harder to just like
drive
show
past
up.
his house. Knock on the door and say, "Hey, I want to tour your house."
And from what I understand, the owners are very generous.
I'm not saying that.
But I don't think they want a bunch of third graders tromping through their house either. But yeah, I mean, I think that having, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It's just interesting to me.
Yeah. I really do think a big part of it is that there's not. I guess you're right about the monument, because you go to the Lovejoy Monument, you talk about Lovejoy.
Yeah.
You go to the Lincoln Douglas statues, you talk about Lincoln and Douglas, but Lincoln.
We don't talk about Douglas.
We don't talk about Douglas. No.
Little tubby jerk.
Okay, I'm sure I've mentioned this before. Actually, I think I mentioned this on the very first show that I did with you. But my favorite thing from the Lincoln Douglas debate reenactment in 1990, early 1990s, when
it was 94.
C-SPAN
Yeah,
did
it was a big thing.
It was a big thing. But Kerry Miller and I have talked about this because he portrayed Lyman Trumbull in that. And part of his job, too, was to get the audience to clap for Stephen Douglas, because they would have clapped for Stephen Douglas in 1858. But this was 1994, and everybody wanted to clap for Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So they couldn't make that historically accurate because no one wanted to clap for Stephen Douglas.
We all know what happens.
We all know what happens.
Want to cheer for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like that should be like the Daily Show effort, is to get a statue of Lyman Trumbull. I'm going to try to make this happen. I'm going to call some people today and say, why do we not have a statue of a guy that helped draft the 13th Amendment, Civil Rights Act, and Freedom Bureaus Act? He was a labor and civil rights advocate for a working, industrial town. Didn't cater to one party.
No.
And, he supported Alton's favorite human, and that's Abraham Lincoln. Besides Wadlow. I don't know.
Well, and you know what? I think it's, since he's not buried here.
Where's he buried?
He's buried in Chicago.
Why?
Well, he lived in Chicago. That's where he died. He lived there after he got out of politics. So maybe that's part of the problem. He moved to Chicago.
I don't know if I want to do this statue.
Everybody around here is like, well, I don't want to do that anymore. No, but seriously, I mean, he was living in Alton from 1849 to 1863. But since he wasn't born here,
that makes sense.
And he didn't die here, I think that it's not as, I don't know, but I mean, it is super, his work is super important, and everything, you know, like I printed out the Britannica article because I just wanted to make sure that I got like birth and death dates and everything right. And it's incredible. Like Britannica is not going to, you know, be flowery about what his accomplishments were.
Right.
And even just reading, you know, he pressed for making the emancipation of slaves a Northern War aim.
Yep.
And then, you know, he helped draft the 13th
Because Lincoln
Amendment.
was really trying to be a mediator for a couple of years into this, right?
Yeah.
Or at least a year into it.
Yeah. And he advocated vigorous prosecution of the war and an early end to slavery. He at first supported President Andrew Johnson after Lincoln was assassinated, but then broke with the president over Reconstruction policy. And I will tell you, like, one of my biggest, I'm devastated by the way that Reconstruction should have worked and didn't.
Yeah.
I think if other people had been in charge, we could have had a very different last 150 years if Reconstruction could have been done differently. So even that, like, he supported radical Reconstruction, and then he voted to acquit Johnson of impeachment charges. So he was just kind of like always considering what was. It was like he was
Belleville taking claim to Lyman Trumbull as
Is
well.
Belleville taking claim? Do they have a statue?
They got a marker.
Well, we have a marker. I mean, in front of the house.
Yeah, but I want a statue.
Well, then Belleville, it's okay if more than one place takes claim. Like, he was a good guy.
I'm going to take claim with a statue. That's how I want to do it. I want a statue. There's no statue of him ever.
There's no statue?
No, there is no statue.
I was wondering if maybe there is a statue somewhere.
We could be the change.
We could be the statue.
I'm kind of curious about it. It's like, man, out of all this stuff.
That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, truly, like, this was a man who was so clear in what he thought was morally right and what should be done. And I mean, it takes all kinds. Like, obviously Lincoln was having to think about the country as a whole and be the mediator. But I mean, I think it's very, very cool that Lyman Trumbull was pushing him to, and not that Lincoln wouldn't have gotten there on his own anyway, but who knows? Like, you gotta surround yourself. You gotta surround yourself by people that can help you with the right moral path.
Absolutely. Lacey, it's always good talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and talk with Gene King for a little bit, and then we're going to talk to David Wilcox, talk about Pat Robertson and televangelism and all that fun stuff today. Lacey, good article. I'm going to push for a statue for Lyman Trumbull. I'm going to put an op-ed out there.
All right.
All righty. 10:13, a quick break. We'll come back with more next.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Plenty of car dealers, plenty of options for people to choose from. What's your formula for success, right?
Number one, you got to have a good bank, you have a good team, and you got to have loyal customers. It takes all three of those in order to make something work.
In a town like the size of ours, you know, a good relationship with our customers is very important. You want them to know this is a place to come, just like you guys want people to know Carrollton Bank's a place to come.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelmarPublicHouse.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I. Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Libby Coots. Libby was a math major who graduated from Lewis and Clark in 2010. She's a math teacher and the girls golf coach at Edwardsville High School. She even has her LC diploma in her classroom and always tells her students how life-changing Lewis and Clark was for her.
I'm Libby Kuntz, and I'm a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sally, rest you in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you.
Welcome back, Daily Show. On a Friday, the 5th day of September, we are back with Ann and Jean, the family album and trilogy set for September the 10th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the genealogy location of Hainer Library. And how are we doing today, ladies?
Oh, just great.
Ann, how are you doing down there?
Good. Thanks for having us today.
Well, I really appreciate having you in studio. We spoke a couple of days ago about this and wanted to make sure we got this in ahead of time because we're right around the corner to this presentation. Now,
Exactly.
how did this all start?
This started about 10 years ago, actually, when I had written music about my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had put it in a file at home because I thought I don't want to put out another CD, just a CD, because the visuals were so clear to me. I wanted a video, but I didn't know any camera person or anything. And Ann came in the house one day and said, "What are you doing these days?" And so long story short, Ann did all the camera work.
Oh, wow.
So we went and filmed in Alton and the Alton area, each song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we put it together.
This is so cool.
Yeah, and it's the history of my family, but also of Alton.
Yeah.
And how things came about. So, and then everything just fell into place. I knew musicians from working at Jacoby Art Center.
Uh-huh.
And we got dancers from Principia College, actors, children from the neighborhood. I mean, the whole bit, and everybody gave their time freely and just couldn't have been kinder or more helpful, and they were also talented.
This is so unique.
So we did it.
Wow. Well, now, you composed the music for both the 80-minute feature-length film. There's also a 15-minute short. And then, Ann, you were the cinematographer. Real quick, I wanted to ask you, what was your concept, your vision when you first were talking to Jean, just about some of the shots that you had in mind?
That's an excellent question. So Jean asked me if I, like to take, if she knew I was an artist, and so she started telling me about the story, and she told me about there were going to be dancers on Prospect Street, and in my head I was like, I don't think you can dance on Prospect Street. Turns out you can. So I took a class at Lewis and Clark Community College, one of our great assets here, and I learned how to do basic video production there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just applied it. My sister bought a camera and just, like a SLR, and we just shot that thing, and we did voiceovers, and Jean got it all together, and then I just did the visuals, and then we sat for many hours editing, which
I bet
is
it ain't the fun part, that's for sure.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah. But it was, I liked it. But
This
anyway,
is so
because
cool.
so visual. Yeah.
So it's kind of a new experience for you in a
It
way.
was absolutely new. And
Learned
so we made
by
a
doing.
feature length film, 80 minutes, and then the short 15.
Yeah, the family album feature length film is 60 minutes, and the trilogy is 15. So
So
yeah.
take me through what are we going to be viewing on the 10th from 6 to 8? Is it going to be the full featured 80-minute film followed by some panel discussion or some question and answer?
First, it'll show the short one, the trilogy.
Okay.
And then the feature-length film, and then definitely we will take questions and would love people to ask them.
Really cool. And now, what do you hope people take away from this on the 10th?
Appreciation of Alton and the area. Certainly recognize the talent of everyone, vocalists and dancers and participants who were in it, and just the generosity of the community.
Well, and
the other thing that I thought was so interesting is we actually got to film, in Alton. Yeah. So we did. Jean wrote one whole song about the mill, and then she had singers sing this song, and then I added the visuals, going down the mill, mostly at night, and shooting that and seeing all the different aspects that I'd never thought about the mill before. Yeah. And we went to other locations around town, and it was really, really enjoyable. People's backyards down in the hollow. We just found Riverview Park. Yeah. So people will definitely recognize a lot of the locations that we used.
Well, I think it's such an interesting concept with this, because I feel like a lot of Alton's history is local history. And what I mean by that is through people. It's not through a corporation or just one body. It's through a lot of really inspiring and really inspirational and historical figures that have walked through or just been minor national figures that made such an impact here. And I love the tie-in here, because you have inspired by works of art by Jeffrey Vaughn, who is just such a talented local and regional and now just nationwide. I mean, just great works. And just the tie-in to the local singers and the chorus members and everything, I think it just ties into the overall package of this so well.
Right.
Yeah. This is so cool.
And the film starts the family album of a genealogy concept of where our ancestors came from, which was everything: Ireland, Germany, France, and England. But that's how it brings us, and that they came here.
Well, and Alton was such a melting pot, and I don't feel like people realize that enough, is just how many different cultures, came here and utilized the river to plant their roots right here and develop something so much greater, and it's so awesome. I got to ask you, is there a moment that connects with you in the project or in this film more so than any others? Because I know it's like a baby, and you can't pick your favorite child, but is there a scene that's depicted that will always kind of melt your heart or put that warm, fuzzy butterfly in you?
Well, I really liked the dance and the singer for Prospect Street.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
And a deep moving thing for me is a song called My Boy, because it tells of my uncle who drowned in the Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
So, in a way, the film is both comedy and drama.
Yeah.
So
it's a life story.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it truly is a life story throughout this. Right. And is there a moment in this presentation as well that you always kind of look back to and go, this is it?
The dancer on Prospect Street was really enjoyable, because he danced on one of the limestone walls in front of a house, and then jumped down and went down the street and danced all over the place. And we shot that. It was just very entertaining. And even the people on Prospect Street, they moved their cars off the street so we could make it look like it was old time. And we got a couple of old cars from the
antique
30s to come. And so I thought that was really interesting to do.
Right.
There's so many moments of that.
The kids on the swing.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I mean, there's just a lot in it. I mean, it's
really rich, and I think people will enjoy it. Even if you
thank you,
not interested in Alton history or whatever, it's very moving about a family. And one of the things we haven't mentioned is that Jean and I are related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're cousins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Second or third or fourth, but we're related.
Our grandfathers were brothers.
Wonderful. That's unique, too. I like that tie. I love the tie in there.
Yeah.
Well, real
so
cool.
we're Morrisseys.
Okay.
The Morrissey family. Yeah.
And just because we're buttoned up on time here a tiny bit, presentation's free, but there will be an opportunity to purchase some DVDs as well for $10 while you're there. And then also you can call 1-800-613-3163 to register for the program through Hainer Library. And seriously, to both of you, thank you so much. I wish we had more time to talk about this, but really appreciate your time to promote this ahead of September the 10th.
Hope we do another thing. one and we'll come back.
Please do. We'd talk a little bit longer next time.
Thank you so much.
We'll take a quick break. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, right after the commercial break, we'll be talking to David Wilcox, and we'll be learning more about his books and really just a fascinating career as a bodyguard for Pat Robertson, the world-renowned, televangelist. We're going to learn more about his work and just a little bit more to that story too. So we're going to take a quick break. You stay there, and I'll be here on this television or your phone or computer on Roku TV and Riverbender. With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
We're coming back a little bit early, 10:31 on this 5th day of September. This Friday morning continues on Roku TV, RiverBender.com. It's our daily show. CJ with you. And really excited for this conversation. Just doing a little bit of reading about you, David, and learning about your book. Really excited to have you on via Zoom today. And thank you so much for joining us in Alton.
Well, I'm honored, and it's a great pleasure.
Well, and now, David, as we're talking about this, just to kind of get our audience familiarized with your background, take us through your career. You were the bodyguard for Pat Robertson, who, as most of us know, especially in around here, the Christian Broadcast Network, the televangelist.
Well, it starts back in Southern California, where I was a police officer in my hometown, Oceanside, California. I got married, and my wife at the time wanted to come back to CBN. She always wanted to be a reporter for the 700 Club TV show. And I said, great, let's do it. We moved back to Virginia Beach area, and we were both going to attend a grad school at what's now Regent University. It used to be called CBN University. So I enrolled in the master's program. And I was newlywed, and I wanted to take care of my wife. So I went over to student services, and I was going to apply for a job somewhere, maybe on campus, wherever. And a beautiful, wonderful lady named Nancy Keith looked at my resume. She said, "Oh, my goodness, you have police experience." I said, "Yeah, I'm retired, and I retired medically." And she said, "Well, do you know Pat Robertson?" I said, "Sure, I not personally, but I've seen him on TV." She says, "Well, he's getting ready to run for president, and he's looking for bodyguards." And I said, "Well, my next question is, what does it pay, and when do I start?"
Right.
So I was sent over to interview with a gentleman who's now my best friend in the world. He was best man at my wedding a few years ago. Jim Small was the head of the department. We sat down and talked. We bonded immediately, and next thing I know, I'm walking around with Pat Robertson flying out with him on weekends. I'd go to grad school in the evenings at Regent, and then it was a very dysfunctional life. Friday evening, I'd fly out to parts unknown with Pat Robertson, spend the weekend going around doing pseudo political events. He wasn't an official candidate yet. He was under a political action committee called Americans for Robertson. And I'd be his bodyguard. I'd drive him from event to event and fly back in on Sunday night, make sure he was safe in his house. And then I'd go back to being a student for a few hours.
Wow.
That's it.
How do you, and just because I'm so fascinated by that aspect alone before we dive into to the books, is, as a student, how do you manage that, mentally when you're going back to being a student and also as a bodyguard for one of the most notable figures really at that time throughout the world?
Yeah, Pat was a real lightning rod back in those days. He was really, really controversial. And grad school, I didn't find that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I studied communications. I had my bachelor's in communication, and I had 3 other college degrees coming into grad school. So I'm a perennial student. And the hard part was getting used to Pat's idiosyncratic ways.
Gotcha.
I usually tell people Pat wanted it 3 ways: good, fast, and cheap. And so that's what we tried to do. It was really quite a lifestyle. I left security for a brief period of time to finish my graduate project, came back, and I had actually started an animation studio at CBN. That's what my degree was in, was animation. Oh. And I wrote a proposal for CBN. I said, look, you've got all the makings of a facility that can produce animation for children, except for the studio. So here's my proposal. I think I could do this for you and set this thing up, and we could start generating cartoons that would entertain and educate kids about Jesus. And a few weeks later, they said, your money has been approved. How soon can you get here? So I came back out from California, where I was doing my master's project, and I set up the studio. Fast forward, we had been producing animation, and I got another phone call from Pat's office. And it was Barbara Johnson, his fantastic administrator. And she said, Pat wants to see you. Well, that's like Jesus himself saying, please come be with me.
Yeah.
So you don't say no to that. So I went over there. I walked in. He came out of his office. He said, David, brother, he says, Jim Small has just resigned from security. I need you to take, and he says, Jim says, there's only one person that can keep me alive in this organization, and that's you. He said, will you take over the security department?
Wow.
Until we can find a proper replacement. I said, Pat, I've never denied you anything. And I should have been smart and taken him into his office and said, listen, if I'm going to run animation and security, I need a little bit more money, because ministries are notoriously poor payers of their people.
Right.
I didn't. I went back. So I strapped on a 9mm gun. I was producing animation down the hall. And then when Pat needed me, I was taking him around, flying out all over the world. So it was really a dysfunctional lifestyle.
I'd say so. And leads me to my next point is, when did you realize you were witnessing things that most would probably never believe about this whole entity and Pat Robertson?
It was really a bizarre world I lived in, because fortunately we had a great core group of executive protection officers. And what they would do, for example, I'll tell you, one of the most difficult trips we had was in advance of the Michigan primary, when Pat was getting ready to run. We had to cover 7 cities in Michigan with 3 guys within one 24-hour period.
Wow.
Covered about 20 events, and it was a logistics nightmare. Now, these are the days before GPS. The only thing you had to find your way around were these big atlas maps. When you go, well, my destination is at G7 and I'm at G3. How do I get there? So we would bring Pat into these events. We would, fortunately, the guys would go out a few days ahead of us if it was a prolonged visit,
Mm-hmm.
and they would do advances for us. They would say, find out, how do I get from event 1 to event 2? Where's the nearest hospital in case, God forbid, he gets hurt? And go. I need to go inside and check out the logistics. So when David and Pat get here, I can walk them up to the stage or wherever the meeting is.
Yeah.
So they did a fantastic job. I can't speak highly enough about these guys. They were outstanding. The stress cost 2 of them their marriages.
I bet.
But it was, it was a victim of the circumstances. But yeah, it was weird. And then we'd go overseas. One trip we went over to Zaire. Well, I can't carry a gun in Zaire.
Oh.
So I was nervous as can be because I'm like, man, if anything happens, I always joke about the fact that Pat wanted me to be his bodyguard because I'm 6'5", and Pat at the time was about 6'3.5". So I figured he could just duck down behind me and I'd take all the bullets. Anyway, that was pretty much my life for several years.
Well, and now this is what leads me into the next point of this, and your writings here is, the public at the time sees him as as Pat Robertson on TV and a polished figure, and at least a notable one, whether or not you agreed with him or not, he had a presence. What was the public versus private side of Pat Robertson like? Did it change? Did his character change once the camera turned off?
The book I wrote, called Protecting Pat Robertson, Confessions of a High-Priced Bagman. The bagman part's a whole different story and kind of reflects your question. But anyway, I was in grad school and I would walk in and talk to my advisor, a great guy, Terry Lindvall. We looked like the odd couple. I think Terry's about 5'6", but he was an incredible instructor, and I'd need a little break. I had come in from a trip, and so I'd go into Terry's office. I said, well, you're not going to guess what happened. You're not going to believe what happened this time. What? He'd tell me about it. I'd tell him some funny stories or whatever about what happened. He says, God, Dave, he says, you got to write a book. You got to write a book about these funny anecdotes. People just won't believe it. I said, okay, well, I'll give it some thought. Well, I was with Pat, and the book itself I call a transitional book. It starts off very innocuous, talks about a lot of funny things happened with Pat, on campus and out at various events. Some of them are just hilarious. Some of them are kind of serious. We had a couple of gay guys try and smear him with blood in San Francisco.
Wow.
I mean, that was one of the serious ones. But anyway, what happened, CJ, was Pat decided to run for president. Okay. And I think most of your viewers will agree that politics is a dirty business. And I was in the car with Pat one time, and I was sitting in the shotgun seat. He was in back with two guys from one guy from CBN, Rob Hartley. He was the vice president of development, kind of the money man for CBN. The other guy was Pat's campaign manager at the time, a guy named Mark Nuttall, who, between you and me, I wouldn't give a warm bucket of spit for. But,
yeah, that's how most of them seem to be.
But they were having this discussion, and Nuttall was saying, Pat, you got to give us your campaign access to this 3.5 million names on the CBN donor list.
Oh, no.
We're running out of money. We got to hit them up for money. Rob Hartley would go, Pat, you can't do that. it's illegal to lose your tax exempt status. It'll ruin the ministry. And it was like those old time movies where the hero of the story had an angel and a devil on his shoulder, and they were just trying to get him onto their side. And this went on for about 20 minutes. And I was sitting up front thinking, if he makes the wrong decision here, we're ruined. And after about 20 minutes, there was this 2-minute silence. And then I heard Pat say to Rob Hartley, give him the list. And it felt like I got a gut punch. And I thought, we have just sold our birthright. And fast forward, that one decision cost over about 620 employees their jobs at CBN.
Wow.
Money dropped off by about 40%. And Rob Hartley told him what was going to happen. He said, Pat, you got people that don't want you to run for president because they're firm believers in politics and religion shouldn't mix. The other group is going to, they're your donor faithful for CBN. They're going to start getting cards from Americans for Robertson, hitting them up for money. So they're going to say, well, screw this. I'm not going to give to this guy.
Right.
I'm going to give to his presidential campaign. I want to see him in the White House, turn this nation into Christians. And the other ones are going to be the other opposite end of the poll. They're going to say, well, I've only got $20 to give to one or the other, so I guess I'll give it to Pat and see what he does with it.
Right. So
that was like ripping the bottom out of the money bag. It just drained. And my friend Jim Small, he had the awesome, horrible duty. Pat got back after the campaign. He knew he wasn't going to be president. He spent about a week walking around the property and stopping employees and would say, what's your name? What is your department? What do you do? And who do you report to? And they'd tell him, I'm John Smith. I work in telemarketing, whatever. And he'd make notes. He'd take these notes at the end of the day, give them to Barbara Johnson. She'd type them up, and the list would be given to Jim Small the next day, and he was the hit man. He'd go around and tell each vice president that was over these people, they're done.
Wow.
Lay them off. And I jokingly say that when Pat walked down the hall, the vice presidents would put blood over the doorposts of their offices, hoping the angel of Pat would pass over, because it was just like a death march. If he came down the hall, and he wore these cowboy boots all the time, and you hear this clump, 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 clump coming down the hall, and people are like, oh man, I'm gonna have to lay some people off.
Wow.
Because that's what politics did.
Yeah.
But the second half of the book is all the transitional stuff. What Pat did illegally.
Yep.
What he, what else I have in there? Oh, and then when he came back, CJ, I know I'm bloviating a lot, but there's a lot to tell.
Great.
He came back and realized, gosh, I was gone for like 3-4 months, and it decimated the ministry. What's going to happen when I die?
Yeah.
I don't want to lose this 30-year enterprise that I built from scratch. So he panicked. He started looking, instead of looking to God, he started looking to sources that were quick money, long-term, what do they call it? Marketing, pyramid marketing.
Oh, pyramid schemes and all.
Well, it was supposed to be a marketing program where Christians were going to be able to sell, what do they call it? Like Amway, the Amway structure.
Gotcha.
Can't think of the name. But he started chasing that. Here's the thing that just sent me over the edge. Here you got Pat Robertson, one of the greatest spokespersons for God that ever walked the planet in our generation. And he's buddying up with a guy named Mobutu Sese Seko, who was a brutal dictator in Zaire, to mine gold and diamonds for a private company that Pat owned. And then he did the same thing with a guy named Charles Taylor, who was the president of Liberia. And Taylor was tried and convicted by the World Court in The Hague for crimes against humanity. He butchered thousands of his own citizens to maintain control.
Wow.
So now we got Pat in business in cahoots secretly with these two guys. I'm like, this is wrong. This is not the Pat Robertson I started working for. So I've taken a lot of criticism because people haven't read the book, but they've been quick to condemn me. How dare you do this to Brother Pat? You're a Judas. Every book you sell, I hope you enjoy your blood money. And I'm like, you obviously haven't read the book. I was ready to take a bullet for Pat.
Yeah.
I loved him. I did everything he asked me to do, but this just put me over the edge, and I ended up leaving and went to the private sector and did very well. But
I just think this is why I find it so fascinating, because I did have a chance to read through a little bit, and it's not written as a hit piece. I mean, the way that you wrote it, you really did tell kind of your story in a way that's not a bashing thing. It just tells the story about how after that political campaign, it just seems like the mindset shifted. And I wanted to ask you a little bit more, if it's okay, about this, because this partnership with African dictators for this gold and these diamond ventures are just baffling to me. How does he get into contact with them? Is it just because he's Pat Robertson and says, let's go, we heard about this, let's go invest, or do they reach out to him?
This is vodka, by the way.
Like, okay.
Mobutu came about. Mobutu was going through a public opinion crisis.
Mm-hmm.
He had done so many horrible things. He was looking for a man of great stature who was somewhat religious that he could pony up with, and I guess guilt by association.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's at my door. Never mind. So Mobutu had written a bunch of letters to a bunch of televangelists across the country, and most of them saw right through the scam. They just said, no, I'm not doing anything with this guy. He's dangerous and dirty. Well, Pat bought into it. And we flew over to Zaire with a little contingent of CBN people, and we met. It was very surreal. We were picked up by a couple of guys in black suits. Kinshasa, Zaire is where we stayed. It was in chaos. 50% of the people were unemployed. Inflation was off the scale. It was just, and guys were standing around street corners with M16s.
Whoa.
It was dangerous. I had no weapon. So anyway, we were at the mercy of Mobutu. Pat went in with an idea that he wanted to take over the copper mining in Zaire. Zaire at the time, I haven't stayed on top of it, it was a wealthy, wealthy nation as far as natural resources.
Okay.
It had 3 growing seasons a year. They grew every kind of fruit and vegetable. They were rich in mining operations, hardwoods, everything, but they just didn't have the infrastructure to get it to market. So Pat went over there to try to take over their copper mining, and he actually signed a handwritten contract he drafted with Mobutu. And we sat out on a porch one night drinking iced tea. He says, "Do you believe this, brother?" He says, "I control all the copper mining in this country right now. What do you think I should do?" I said, "Buy low and sell high."
Yeah. I mean, yeah, good advice.
That's not rocket science. Anyway, it translated over, and Pat decided, well, I'm going to see if I can get some diamonds out of this deal and some gold.
Yeah.
So, anyway, somebody's banging on my door.
Do you want to take a quick break and we can come back and continue the conversation?
Yeah, can I take 30 seconds?
No, let's do this. Let's take a couple-minute break. We'll come back around 10:55 and we'll continue this. We'll come back with more Daily Show right after this on Riverbender.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 10:57, back with David Wilcox. Really excited to continue this conversation. And David, thanks for hanging around. I would love to chat for a couple of more minutes on this. And
absolutely,
it leads me into my next point. We were kind of wrapping up before we took a break about a little bit of the copper mining, and we were leading into the diamonds and the gold. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about was there money that was used for Rwandan refugees that was for some of these ventures?
Oh, yeah, this'll really drop your jaw. Pat always had a heart for people in third world countries. He did a lot of work for them through the ministry, and he got word that there was a massacre going on in Rwanda, and almost 1 million people fled that country and sought safety in Zaire. And unfortunately, a cholera outbreak developed in that camp where all these 1 million people were living out in these dirt fields. And Pat had earlier had created this thing called the Flying Hospital. That too was kind of a fiasco. He bought a L-1011 jet, stripped it out, built a high-tech surgical unit, and doctors were flown, in theory, going to be flown all over the world. Well, he hadn't done his homework, and that plane can't land in about 70% of the airports in the world. So it was kind of sitting around in the junkyard. But what he went on TV at the 700 Club, and he told people there is a outbreak of cholera. These poor people are dying out in these fields in Zaire. What I want to do, I'm going to get 100 doctors together. I'm going to get drugs to treat them, and you're going to help because you're going to send me the money for this, and we're going to go over there and save lives. This is hard. What he did was he pled to their senses, and money really started rolling in. Well, what really happened was, and there's a movie out there, you can look it up on YouTube, called Mission Congo, exposes a lot of this. Pat simultaneously was mining diamonds in Zaire.
Wow.
And he bought 3 Vietnam-era planes that were capable of hauling cargo, and they were supposed to be able to fly in and take all these humanitarian tools, the medicine, all this stuff, to the refugees. What was happening was Pat was really sending boxes and boxes and boxes of aspirin.
Wow.
Well, you don't treat cholera with aspirin,
right?
Number one. And here's the hard part. He was spending most of the airplane time using it to haul dredging material and supplies for his diamond mining company.
Wow.
And it was just, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but it was out and out fraud. And
yeah,
they raised a lot of money, and Pat was using it to finance this company that he had set up. And he was the sole owner of this diamond mining operation.
Well,
and it's just sad.
Yeah.
The people that were legitimate over there, they said, well, CBN didn't do much over here. They sent a handful of people, and they were just running around throwing Bibles at everybody. They weren't any doctors per se, and people were just dying.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just awful and sad and crazy all the same time. And David, we're running out of time here on the show today. I would love to have you back on, because I would love to talk to you about your book, your second book as well, about Ralph Reed and the Christian Coalition a little bit, if we have time in the next couple of months. One final question.
Absolutely.
What do you hope the readers and the listeners, the readers of your book, listeners of today's show, take away from our conversation and from your piece on Pat Robertson?
Well, if you're a Christian, don't put your faith in men.
Yeah.
Guy may look good in a $1,000 suit and thump his Bible and tell you, don't do pornography. Well, they're probably just as big of an offender as you are. Put your faith in God. Talk to God. He doesn't yell at you. He talks in a still, small voice. Okay. Don't put your faith in brick and mortar establishments. Things that are made by man, for man. Have an intimate relationship with God. People say, you lost your faith. You've been ripping Pat Robertson a new one. No, on the contrary, my faith has grown stronger. I don't rely on guys like Pat.
Yeah.
They're all fallible. Okay. But trust in the Lord, be patient when you ask for things. And that's pretty much what I want people to take out of the book.
Well, David, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking with you, and let's talk again soon.
Absolutely.
Well, out of time today, and we're going to send you all in to the weekend. Have a good one. Enjoy the 80s mixer, the Alton Expo. There's so much. But most importantly, try your best, as always, to stay out of jail.